From animal skins draped over shoulders in prehistoric caves to haute couture strutting down Paris runways, fashion has been humanity's second skin, constantly transforming, adapting, and reinventing itself. Welcome to Fashion Metamorphosis, where we unravel different centuries of style, one thread at a time. My name is Olayemi. I'm a fashion designer and a fashion historian. Over the next minute, we are talking a time-traveling fashion tour that will change how you see every piece of clothing in your wardrobe. Let's begin our metamorphosis. Our story begins in ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome civilizations, where fashion was born not just from necessity, but from power, statues, and divine connection. Ancient Egyptians didn't just dress, they adorned themselves as living hearts. Linen was king in the scorching desert heat. Men wore simple loincloths, called shendit, while women draped themselves in straight column-like dresses called calasiris. But guess what was the real magic? The accessories. Massive collar necklace called waseki, crafted from gold, turquoise, and carnelian. Elaborate wig made from human hair, sheep's wool, and even plant fiber, dyed black and styled into intricate braids. Coal-line eyes weren't just beautiful, they protected against the sun and symbolized the heights of Horus. Even their footwear, simple papyrus sandal, spoke of practicality meeting divinity. The Greek gave us the chiton and Himation draped fabrics that celebrated the natural body. Roman took it further with the toga, a garment so complex that only citizens could wear it, and its folds indicate social rank. Purple dye from moray snakes was so expensive, it became reserved for emperors, making purple the colors of power for millennia to come. Fast forward to medieval Europe 500 to 1500 CE, where fashion became a complex language of layers, literally and figuratively. Forget minimalism. Medieval fashion was about layers upon layers. Undergarments called chemises and braces protected the skin. Over that, tunics, surcoats, and elaborate gowns. The wealthy displayed their status through their fabric, silk, velvet, and brocade imported from the East at astronomical cost. Headwear became an art form. Women wore wimples, earrings, those iconic pointed cone hats, and elaborate veils. Men donned coifs and chaperon hoods. Your hat literally told everyone your marital status, profession, and social standing. Knights wore layers too, but there were chainmail and plate armor weighing up to 60 pounds. Fashion made function in the most extreme way. Even their helmet evolved from simple cuts to elaborate full-face visors with erratic crests. Footwear. Pollen shoes with points so long, they sometimes had to be tied to the knee. The longer the point, the higher your status. Fashion has always been willing to sacrifice comfort for statement. The Renaissance, 1400 to 1600, brought a rebirth of art, culture, absolutely extravagant fashion. Women's fashion reached new heights, quite literally. The fatinge, a hoop skirt structure made dresses extended outward up to 6 feet. Corsets cinched waists to impossible proportions. Rough those enormous starch collars require wire framework and could span 2 feet wide. Getting dressed took hours and multiple assistants. Fabric exploded with color and pattern. Thanks to a new trade route, silks from China, cotton from India, and intricate lace from Italy became available to European elite. Sleeves were detachable. Yes, you could swap out your sleeve like we change accessories today. Embroidered with real gold and silver thread, pierced sewn into gowns, and gemstone encrusted jewelry turned purple into walking treasure chest. Men went left out. Doublet padded bellies, cut pieces that were exaggerated certain features, puff and slash sleeves showing constructing fabric underneath, and ornate hat with feathers. Masculinity was flamboyant. Makeup become elaborate and dangerous. White lid face point, mercury-based rouge, and belladonna drops to delight puppies. Beauty was literally toxic. Wigs and hairpiece grew in popularity, setting the stage for the next era. If you thought the Renaissance was extra, welcome to the 1600s and 1700s, the Baroque and Rococo periods, where too much was never enough. Louis XIV of France lost his hair and decided everyone should wear wigs. Those began the era of powder wigs. These weren't small hairpieces. We are taking 3-foot tall sculptures, of course, adorned with ribbons, flowers, miniature chips, and even bed cage with live birds. Hairstyle required architect, not stylist. Women's skirts expanded to their widest point in history, with pioneer side hoops that made them wider than doorways. Some dresses were so wide, women had to turn sideways to enter rooms. Bodies were stiff as armor, decorated with ribbons, bows, lace, and flowers. Footwear became art. High heels were invented for men first. Queen Louis XIV wore 5-inch heels to appear taller and more imposing. Women adopted them, and shoes became canvases for embroidery, jewelries, and paintings. Accessories multiply. Fan for secret communication, beauty mark made from velvet or silk to hide small postcards, elaborate walking cane, ornate beds, decorative handkerchiefs, and pomada filled with perfume to mask the lack of bathing. The 1800s brought the Industrial Revolution, and fashion would never be the same. Mass production, new dyes, and sewing machine democratized style. The Victorian era gave us the silhouette we recognize from period dramas. Enormous crinolines and bottles that made women's rear profiles protrude dramatically, corset tightening to achieve the coveted 18-inch waist. Some women even had ribs surgically removed. The ideal female form was an hourglass, no matter the cost. Men's fashion became more subdued but less important. The three-piece suit was born. Jacket, waistcoat, and trouser became the uniform of the gentleman. Top hat, bowler hat, and later the fedora. Mark occasion and professions. Pocket watches, cufflinks, and tie-pin were essentials. Undergarment became complex engineering projects. Bloomers, penticles, combination, corset covers. Women wore up to 10 pounds of underwear. Men had union suits and suspenders. These layers reflected Victorian modesty and moral codes. But here is a revolution: ready to wear clothing appear in department stores. Fashion wasn't just for the wealthy anymore. Pattern allowed home seamstresses to copy Parisian styles. The sewing machine, invented in the 1850s, changed everything. The 20th century compressed centuries of fashion revolution into decades. Let's speed through. The Roaring 20s, women cut their hair into bobs, dropped their waistlines, raised their hemlines, and threw away their corsets. The flower dress, clouch hat, and hat deco jewelry defined an era of liberation and jazz. World War II brought rational and practicality. Women wore trousers for factory work, post-war. Christian Dior's new look brought back their femininity. With cinched waist and full skirts, stiletto heels, pierced gloves, and pivot hats completed the picture's perfect housewife look. The 60s exploded with miniskirts, go-go boots, psychedelic patterns, and mod style, Mariquant and Twiggy revolution fashion. The 70s brought hippie, bohemian freedom, disco glamour, platform shoes so high, they wear dangerous bare bottom and hot pants, self-expression rude. The 80s screamed excessive shoulder pad that could double as football gear, neon everything, leg warmer, member-only jacket, big hair requiring cans of hairspray, and athletic wear as street fashion. MTV made fashion global and instant. The 90s brought grunge flannel, minimalistic chic, chokers, combat boots, slippers, dresses, and the rise of supermodels as household names. Fashion became more dramatic and diverse, which brings us to now, this 21st century, where fashion is more accessible, diverse, and rapid changing than ever before. Technology transformed everything. Online shopping, fast fashion, influencer culture, and social media made trends cycle in weeks instead of seasons. You can order a dress designed in Paris, made in Bangladesh, and delivered to your doorstep in 48 hours. Incredible. But we are also seeing a counter movement: sustainable fashion, vintage revival, slow fashion, and ethnic production. Consumers want to know where their clothes come from and who made them. Today's fashion celebrates diversity, gender fluid clothing, adaptive fashion for people with disability, inclusive sizing and representation, all body types, ethnicity, and identity on runways and in campaigns. Fashion meets technology in an exciting way. 3D printing garments, smart fabric that monitor health, LED embedded accessories, virtual fashion for digital avatars, and even NFT clothing for the metaverse. Streetwear conquer high fashion. Sneakers are collected like art. Athleisure acceptable everywhere. Hoodies cost thousands of dollars. Fashion is now a conversation between street and runway, and everyone has a voice. Amazing. From papyrus sandals to smart sneaker, from animal skin to synthetic fabric, from natural dye to programmable LED threads, fashion's metamorphosis never stops. Here on Fashion Metamorphosis, we dive deep into each of these eras and elements. We explore the evolution of specific items, how the t-shirt went from underwear to statement piece, fabric innovation from cotton to Kevlar, cultural fashion exchange, how kimono influenced Western fashion, beauty evolution, makeup, hairstyles, and body ideas through time, accessory deep dives, the surprising history of sunglasses, handbags, and belts, consume tradition including Halloween fashion legacy, and so much more. Every piece of clothing you wear has a story spanning centuries. Every accessory carries the DNA of countless innovation and cultural exchange. Fashion isn't frivolous, it's humanity's visual autobiography. For you not to miss out on view videos, subscribe to Fashion Metamorphosis to join this journey through time and style. Hit that notification bell so you never miss when we decode another chapter of fashion history. Drop a comment telling me which era fascinates you most or what items you want us to explore first and next. Remember, fashion isn't about what you wear, it's about the different centuries conversation you are joining every time to get dressed. Let's explore it together. See you in the next video.